just enter the KBMOD podcast, keyboard, plus mouse or die.
Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 5 of the KBMOD podcast. We're already on 5 episodes. I said this last week that I was surprised we were on at 4, but we are cranking these out. We are staying on schedule, and a lot of you guys ask every week if we will be having a podcast this week, and the answer is always going to be yes in some form, even if not, one of us 4 that normally do it, John, Dan, or Alex, or I can't be on. At least 2 of us or 3 of us will always be on to do it. So we're going to keep the schedule. We also have a special guest this week. We didn't have a guest last week, but this week we have a very special guest, a philosopher of sorts. A lot of you know him on YouTube as ObviouslyJesus. Colin, what's going on, man?
Not much. I'm wearing all plaid, and I got my KKK hood on, just rocking the anarchist hipster faggot look right now.
The anarchist hipster faggot. That's good.
No one gets more hate than him.
No. But you take the hate well, Colin. You do.
I don't know though. I don't know. I kind of have
well. You mean each video at a time? He takes it very well. He has 700 videos. That's how much hate.
I take it like Monica Bellucci in Irreversible.
Oh, wow.
That's strong.
Yeah. Well, Colin, why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself? I'm sure a lot of people know you already.
Start off by saying that you have a GT220 in your desktop.
Yep. I'm a proud user of GT220. I just changed my YouTube banner type thing to say PC elitist with GT220. So I'm proud of myself. No use denying it. Just wave out the small penis there. Just do the helicopter dick with 2 inches. No big deal. It'll work. But yeah, so I kind of make the TF2 videos up on the machine Enema. And that's what I'm kind of known for, and I'm also known for being fucking, like, YouTube villain numero dos after Alex over here in his legendary greed videos.
That's a good description. I like that. But, yeah, as far as your content, I know your content on your channel is extremely varied. You do a lot of different stuff, but, I mean, a lot of, like, commentary. You just use the gameplay as a backdrop most of the time, right? Probably minus your TF2 series.
Yeah, I mean, I save the gameplay for Machinima Respawn because that's what people dig up there. And for my channel, I'm just down to talk about philosophy and then have to explain the same thing to different people 5 fucking times per person until I rage block them because it's just so annoying.
Yeah, you and Alex seem to have that similar problem, I think, with the rage block. I've done it too. I think we've all rage blocked people.
I have more people blocked than anybody else.
That's true.
John, I will go check.
Yes, but
several thousand.
See what the number is up to now, because it was pretty hefty last time you checked.
Yes, but imagine trying to explain determinism 5 times to the same person in different ways each time so they can get it through their little plebeian brains and just...
9,642.
Holy
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
That's most of YouTube.
That's that.
I'd be creeping up on 100K right now.
Yeah, that's...
Wow. Yeah, John, I don't think you're getting many subs because anyone who's not blocked is already subbed to you. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, we always talk about what we've been playing this week as far as gaming goes. So we'll start with you, Colin, since you're the guest. What have you been playing on the PC side? Obviously.
Well, I've dabbled a little bit in the Quake Live and the Frozen Synapse because, this 220 can actually run them at a solid 60.
What is Frozen Synapse? I've seen it,
It's
but
like,
what's the deal?
It's hard to describe. I call it like electro chess because it has fucking techno in the background and I can just bump it. I don't even need to put on any dead mouse. So, yeah, but essentially you get X amount of units, like usually 3 or 4, and you position them, and then you can plan out contingencies, and you hope your opponent will follow those contingencies. So essentially what I do is I like to camp out behind corners with shotguns and just wait for people to come around there and have my orders set to engage on sight.
Does that rage people? Is that like a cheap tactic in that game or something?
Well, yes, because usually it takes them, there's only 8 turns, maximum of 8 turns in a game, which amounts to 40 seconds of actual in-game character movement and firing. So, but it takes like 20 minutes to play fucking 40 seconds of game time. So it's really interesting and very tactical. But what I do is I just camp until I can get a camp kill on 1 unit, and then fucking the person with the most units after 8 turns wins. So I just draw it out.
Can you explain that to me in a different way, please?
Maybe 4 more ways.
Yes.
Yes. Nice. All right, well, I'm going to go here and find Private Joker.
Go ahead and block him. Get that out of the way. What about you? Speaking of Private Joker, what about you, Alex? As far as this...
I haven't been gaming this much. I jumped on Black Ops with Dan a little bit yesterday. I've been playing that Arrested Development game. And by game, I just mean I've been watching Arrested Development.
Watching a lot of it for the movie.
Not a bad idea.
It's an awesome show. If anyone hasn't watched it, I took a while. Like, I always knew it was good, but I took a while to get around to watching it, and it really is awesome.
Oh, Tobias.
Yes. That show is fucking legendary.
There's this amazing line in the first season, and he's waiting for an audition, and he turns to his wife, and he says, "Yeah, you don't have to wait for this. It could take a while." And she goes, "It's just one line." And he stands up and says really epically, "Not if I do my job right." It's just so funny. He's so clueless, but there's something about those characters. Like, if you knew them in real life, you'd hate them, but because they're all together, you kind of feel for them. It's a great show.
All right,
Dan, you want to go?
Well, I have been playing actually a lot of WoW lately. Been hopping back on the WoW train.
Seen that.
Been running some heroics with John over there, and getting my shards for my legendary staff on my warlock. So that's been pretty cool.
I've got a legendary staff in my pants. It's like fucking.
I have no need for sexual innuendo now that Colin's here.
Yeah, I'll take that over for
I think I just did a fucking double entendre as the guy from Doctor Strangelove.
Wow. Well, you're breaking new ground on this podcast. That's good.
Mein Führer, I have an erection.
What about
That's how the movie should have ended.
I've been playing WoW, and I'll jump on ProMod every once in a while, and then I'll get mad because the new host for NetSky's public servers is really bad for me. So I can't really tolerate it. I'll jump on and play a couple of pickup games, but other than that, I just kind of play WoW. Because I have enough Call of Duty gameplay saved on my hard drive that, like, I don't have to. I have, like, Modern Warfare 3 gameplay already because that's how much gameplay I have for Call of Duty. So I don't really have to play anything anymore, so I'm just kind of playing WoW because it's nice to chill out and not have to do anything. And Skin Flute Hero.
Skin Flute Hero, yeah.
Good. How are you up to? You exported all the songs on that on Skin Flute Hero yet, or are you still working?
Yeah.
Full combo.
Yeah, 100%.
You set up to a LAN Skin Flute and a Skin Flute band. You can have a band of Skin Flutes get together.
I love how they have the entire Wesley Willis discography on that game.
Wesley Willis is a quality musician, yeah.
Genius.
But yeah, really just WoW. I'll jump on, like, Black Ops if, like, Dan's playing it. Like, last night he was like, I'm going to serve with a bunch of really good players, so I went in for a game, and they weren't really good players. And then I left again.
Nice. Yeah, I've been, I haven't been playing all that much either, minus, I only play Valve titles, so I've been playing Half-Life 2 Episode 2. And a little late on that. A little late on the uptake, and I've also been playing. Tonight I did some 1v1s with that Swede, that incredible orb who just destroyed me at 1.6, and Source was a little better. But anyway, yeah. Well, I got fueled because of the whole CS:GO thing, which we will be talking about at some point. But go back to that. I guess we did play some Black Ops too.
You never fucking left it, so don't even say go back to my roots. You've been playing Counter-Strike for the last 8 years of your life.
APL dug up around the tree and proceeds to dry hump the roots every night.
It's true. The horse is dead, and I've been fucking it for a long time, but what can you do? I guess feeding it. I don't know.
I actually loaded up Counter-Strike once this week.
Did you really? For what? Just to play? You actually played it?
Well, I lasted like a round before I was like, this game fucking is so old.
Will you play CS:GO, John? I'm curious.
Will I play CS:GO?
Yeah.
That depends if they're porting it to console or porting it to PC.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we can talk about that in the topics. Yeah, definitely. But that's a good point. We have to debate that. Well, let's go right actually into the topics then.
We now interrupt your scheduled programming to bring you an urgent broadcast from the front lines of America.
Whatever. What is your opinion on that? We're going to obviously talk CS:GO for you guys that have been living under a rock or multiple rocks. Obviously got announced.
Or 2011.
Yes, or that as well. Got announced, and so it's the big, it's a big topic right now all over the place, and it's going to be on consoles as well, which is what John's talking about. So that was kind of a shock to everyone.
I just don't get that decision. to be honest.
The original Counter-Strike was on Xbox, and hot damn was that the worst game I've ever played in my life.
It's so bad.
I actually have a copy of that sitting 2 feet from me.
Burn it.
I haven't touched
Go
it.
load it up. Play it, dude.
I haven't touched
Play it
it.
live on the podcast so you can laugh at
It is horrible. It is just, it's condition 0 basically. It's Counter-Strike condition 0 on.
We all know how much you love that, Scott.
Yeah, that's kind of. So, but yeah, what was your guys? I guess we could all go around in initial impressions of the announcement. John, you were saying already. I mean, we talked about this, but the fact if it's going to be ported to console or vice versa, like let's get more time. But
Portal is a console port. Left 4 Dead's, both of them are console ports to the PC, which makes me completely believe the Counter-Strike will also be ported to the PC from a console disc, and that will make me sick because, I'm sorry, first-person shooters, none of them have any business on console. None of them. Not even Halo. Halo plays right on console because it's 30 FPS and it's a piece of shit, but it has no place on console.
oh god,
Boy, feels right at home.
Well, there we go. We got
Goes to the Halo
StarCraft 2,
community.
we got the Chavs, and now we got the Halo community.
yeah, well,
MLG Halo this. Where's the MLG Halo community now? Oh wait, StarCraft. StarCraft's at a PC title? Thank you. Come again.
You know, I've seen some really good NOS advertisements from the MLG Halo community. I was fucking blown away.
that's an energy drink.
Were you given 5 hours of youthful energy as well?
Yeah.
Yes, I was.
That's sweet.
I'm resisting the easy joke right there.
I find it very hard to believe that any FPS can be very competitive if it's ported over from console. I mean, look at Black Ops. There's no competitive scene really at all because it was a port. COD 4 had a separate development team for PC and console. COD 4's competitive scene's still going. Even Counter-Strike 1.6 was developed solely for PC. Look how competitive it still is to this day. There hasn't been a single PC game that was ported from console that's even maintained a competitive community over an extended period of time.
Well, John, you're forgetting about all those tactical realism servers that are super fucking edgy because they play like real life. No soldier has ever run ever.
Jesus has acquired Marathon Pro. And then you run around the server and you kill everybody till you get banned.
Maybe that's a video idea.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, John. I'm holding out on hope that because they brought in, I mean, once again, they brought in, so if you guys didn't really follow the story, it kind of broke. They made the announcement a day after some more articles actually came out from the competitive community kind of reviewing what they played. It was kind of all shrouded in secrecy. Like, I think 25 or 30 people altogether from various areas of the Counter-Strike community came to Valve. They were invited. They were told to play the game and give the feedback and stuff like that. So, I mean, there was a lot. I mean, they played a pre-alpha build of the game. So there's going to be, I'm sure, a lot changed. And like, for example, they were talking about the recoil, and there's actually a really good video by two of the guys from the ESL who actually played it, and they talked about like the recoil system and about how like if you tap, it doesn't matter, like the recoil still stacks because they don't have a separate, as far as the engine's built right now, there's no, like, tapping won't differentiate the recoil from what it is if you hold down the trigger. So they said obviously we're going to fix that, but right now in the pre-alpha build, but that was something that was really blown up, and they were like, oh look, they're just catering to consoles. But it's like, all right, I think we're going to see two different games. I really do. I think you're going to see a console version. I think you're going to see a very heavily tweaked and or ability to be tweaked version for competitive play, because they said from everything I've read and everything everyone's saying who played it, they said Valve made it very clear this is a game you need to play either 1v1 or 5v5. There's really no in between. They're really pushing very small numbers and like teamwork. So, I mean, I'm holding out hope that I don't think it's the end all either, because they also said that there's going to be a major Counter-Strike source update, that Valve hasn't given up on that either, and that they're going to be tweaking some of that too. So,
how about a major update to the damn hitboxes that have been broken?
that actually would honestly be a huge thing for me, is if the hitboxes work properly.
Yeah, well,
it's like,
at this point, it's like you've been playing the game so long, you just learn to deal with them.
Yeah, I was able to deal with them, but then you don't play Counter-Strike for
forever, and then
you come back to them, and it's just like, what is this? I'm 12.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for two reasons, because A, I can get it on console and not get raped, and B, on PC, I read something that said that they're going to balance out the weapons more, so it's not just AK, M4, and maybe fucking op noobs scoping you through the main doors on down DD Dust 2, so maybe it'll be a little bit more balanced, because I love the fucking FAMAS, but you get outclassed when you use that shit.
Yeah, and that's what scares me and the other and people who play in the competitive community, because we're like, I don't want balance. The problem is the competitive community doesn't really want any change. They want basically a facelift on the game. They just want graphical changes. But like, there's a Molotov cocktail now, which has area of effect damage.
I actually am a huge fan of that idea.
Yeah, me too. I think it's a great idea, and they were saying it works really well. It's a little
eliminates rushes. Can't beat that.
Exactly. You can quarantine off areas a lot easier, and there's also a decoy grenade, which, I don't know about that, but
sound whoring. There's a lot of sound whoring in that game if you're decent. So
yeah, that's true.
They probably won't allow decoy grenades in competitive play.
Yeah, I did it too.
I mean, a good player, even if you flash him, if he knows the maps well enough, it's not going to stop him from his rush anyway.
Right.
He's still going to keep going in the correct direction you're rushing him. Like, if you try to flash somebody rushing like trying to get to, I don't know, pit. If somebody's rushing long A trying to get the pit, pick you off, and you flash over double doors, they're still going to get the pit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, did I see they're getting rid of buying Kevlar? You just have body armor?
Yeah,
now?
The money system is a whole other thing, but yeah, right now I think you have Kevlar from the start. It's not
I can live with that.
Yeah. Everyone's got it then.
Same thing like they did. Well, they changed that in Source. They patched that where you have full ammo. You don't buy ammo separately anymore.
That was actually a good change, I think.
Yeah, I agree too.
One of the most annoying things in the game is buying ammo.
Yeah.
Learn to buy binds.
Yeah.
I did have buy binds. Still was annoying.
Yeah. What about you, Al? I'm curious on Alex's take, because Alex hates Counter-Strike, I think.
I've fallen asleep, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, have you? Every time
I
we
don't
play...
hate it. Like, I respect it for the game that it is, and when Scott gets on it, like, he does as much work as I respect that John does in Pro Mod. But I can't get into the game. There's nothing about it that intrigues me.
That's like when people say, no offense, but you're a fucking piece of shit. That's essentially what just happened here.
Yeah, I can respect that you play an old game, but it's hard. So
just fuck you. Just fuck you.
No, I mean, Alex does come from a different breed console, so I can't expect him to. So.
I'll do work on BioShock though.
That's true.
You laugh. But those splicers know not my first name. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're on a first name basis. So.
You should see his fucking brake strafe. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, well, I mean, another point too about this. I mean, no matter what, if this game comes out, and even if it's not, even if it's very good, or even if it's very bad, or even if it's in between and it has to be tweaked a lot, there's going to be people on all sides who say it's horrible. Just like when Source came out and 1.6,
I remember the Source hate was pretty.
Dude, I mean, it's still at a fever pitch if you play 1.6. You know what I mean? Exclusively, like, they just hate the game, and that's fine. That's their prerogative. But it's going to be the same thing with this. It's going to be people just don't want change. I mean, it's a totally Source was a totally different game. It really is, the 1.6. It's a totally different engine. It plays totally differently. But when people don't like that, so you're going to see the same thing with this. I don't think it's going to be any different, no matter what, no matter how good it is.
I'm pissed that it's using the Left 4 Dead 2 engine, because I don't like it nearly as much. And they said the movement was different, and I could deal with the movement as it is right now in Source.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of unknowns. They said the beta's coming out. They haven't really said the month yet, but I'm hoping they said it not too long. They think.
I thought it was like November, December.
Did they say? Yeah.
Beta.
Okay.
Closed beta would start.
Yeah, and then early next year is a release, so it'll be interesting. I mean, the other thing that does make me nervous, though, to be fair to John's argument, which I don't totally disagree with about it being mostly for console. I mean, they're releasing it on Xbox Live Arcade though for like $15 or whatever it is, the $20. It's not going to be a full retail release.
It'll be the same price for the PC.
Right, exactly. I mean,
right.
So how much time are they? Is it really something they're really spending a lot of time worrying about and developing? I don't know. I mean,
they're going to sell it to PC gamers for $15. Is it really something that they spend a lot of time on?
Right.
It works both ways.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like maybe it could also be kind of a not that devs ever or publishers ever cater to the customer really, as far as like releasing things. But I almost feel like it's here's some Counter-Strike to hold you over, because we've been sitting on everything else for however long. So, Portal 2 comes out, it's a one-time playthrough game though. Now we're going to give you Counter-Strike to hold you over for when we give you maybe for those dudes who are striking outside of Valve, maybe we'll get Half-Life.
For those who have seen Bigfoot and Half-Life 3 in the same.
I don't know if you've ever heard my number pad 7 keybind and vent. Episode 3 is dead. I play that every night for Nick.
Episode 3 actually isn't dead. It's just trapped under Gabe Newell's fat rolls. And it's
oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
Did you see those guys striking outside?
That was pretty funny.
Yes, that was hysterical.
Yeah.
Gabe Newell like went out and took pictures with them and gave them shit though.
Yeah. That was pretty bro.
Dude, I'd be satisfied with that.
They're a good company overall, I would say.
The ultimate piece of swag I want from Gabe
They make
Newell.
okay video games.
Yeah, a few good
Fucking
ones in our history. That's why, really, at the end of the day, like, I don't blame Counter-Strike Counter-Strike CZ, which was so hyped and then came out and just was basically kind of a reskinned and retooled. You know, people disagree with me and say that the game wasn't that bad. I'm not saying the game's bad. It's still a solid game of Counter-Strike, just basically 1.6. But, you know, for all the hype, and the only thing that makes me nervous about this, well, not the only thing, but it's, you know, so it's being developed by Hidden Path Studios or in conjunction with, and that's like Turtle Rock Studios and who dealt with, you know, 1.6. Where Valve was more hands-off and kind of, you know, they were involved, but they were kind of giving it to this dev studio to work on.
It's the Fallout New Vegas of Counter-Strike.
Dude, you know how fucking awesome it'll be to like play Counter-Strike Source at 30 FPS?
It'll be amazing.
If it's a 30 FPS game on console, I will buy it for console just to see how bad Counter-Strike can actually be.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Might have to buy a troll cop. I mean, $15. How can you go wrong? It's not that bad.
What does Left 4 Dead 2 run at on consoles?
30.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It runs on the bad engine. It's just real bad. Like,
Even
I
I get at least
game.
40.
I enjoy it a lot more on PC, but I hated that when I didn't have a PC on console. So bad.
I fucking hate Left 4 Dead just in general. It just aggravates the shit out of me.
Yeah. I always liked being the fucking, you know, zombies or whatever. I never liked being the humans because I never would ever work with a decent team unless I was playing with my friends.
You ever thought you fit in with humanity?
Yeah, that too. That as well.
I think everybody would prefer to just play Infected all the time.
Yeah.
I disagree. I like the humans. I like the feel of the guns. But I just couldn't fucking...
But you're also an anarchist hipster faggot, so...
I like playing humans before it was cool.
Nice. All right, well... If you guys have anything else to say on the subject, whatever, we can throw it in there. But Dan, we also wanted to. Dan, you had brought up the Borderlands 2 got announced.
Yeah, Borderlands
officially.
2, which I'm excited about, but also because I really like Borderlands 1. I mean, I've only played a few hours of it, but I thought it would be from the way Brandon talked about how bad of a port it is, and it might be the worst port there is.
Yeah.
It might be that bad to call it that. You literally can't mess with anything in it. Without doing some pretty crazy.
Well, I have the exact opposite experience. And my first experience with Borderlands was, firstly, I bought it in between the two sale dates when it was on sale for $7. I bought it for $20 in between the dates. That was my first experience with Borderlands. My second experience with Borderlands was looking up on a site with Brandon and disabling stuff like the movies in the beginning.
Field of view.
Changing my field of view, which if you're not host, changes every time you sprint. So you have to bind it to your W key so it reverts back every time you sprint.
That's so bad.
Oh my god.
Actually changing stuff, like, just tons of stuff actually in the game files, which is something you shouldn't have to do on PC. It should be all within the game.
It is quite literally, I think, the worst of the console ports. And there are many, but it's just like they just cater to nothing.
Yeah, I mean, well, not nothing, because I had a lot of experience with Borderlands on console, and I modded the fuck out of it using the Xbox 360 USB stick. So, because I'm that fucking edgy.
Yeah.
Yes. But what I was able to do, though, what I was really impressed with was that I was able to take my save data, save XML files of my weapon lists from the 360 version, and then import them using WillowTree into the PC version when I bought it. So I was impressed with that. So, and like the one thing about Borderlands that always pissed me off was that they patched it. It's a 4-player co-op game you fuck around with your buddies, and they patched it so you couldn't make like crazy fucking weapons. So you had to have specific brands or barrels and whatnot, and they just took all the fun out of it and were just like neutering the game.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed it, so I'm kind of pumped. And there's going to be again, 8 bajillion weapons, of course. And I guess 4 new characters. I don't know if they're going to change the class system. Nobody really knows that yet. But I'm pretty excited for it. It's going to stream at Gamescom a gameplay demo of it, I believe, on Friday. And you can actually watch that live on 2K's Ustream channel. So if you're not at Gamescom in Germany, you can see the new Borderlands, I believe.
What is this, an IGN video?
So... No, but hey, people want to see it,
Yeah.
So
That's sweet.
I'm just fucking with you.
One thing I did want to say is, I before we skip over it or forget about it, is that BF3 trailer with the jet gameplay.
Oh my god.
Oh, dude, that was awesome. Oh god, yeah, that got me pumped again. I was kind of, after playing the this is horrible to say, but after playing the alpha or whatever, I was kind of my enthusiasm was somewhat dampered, probably not fairly, but after seeing that again, I'm amped again to play the game.
Dude, I legitimately ejaculated and then wrote myself a note saying it is worth it to risk going to jail for robbing a PC store to play this game.
Like, seeing that game as high as it gets is going to be
It looks awesome.
an absolute joy to see, and you have the PC to do it.
Yeah. And the fact it's all gameplay in those fucking trailers. Oh, I played the Battlefield 3 Alpha 2 at 26 frames a second in 640 by 360 window. Come at me.
Oh my god. Oh my! It's like, you might as well get the original Nintendo out and try to run it on there. It probably looks about the same with how many pixels you're getting. That screen, dude. That's unbelievable.
But that jet, I didn't even know. Were there jets in the other ones, John? I'm not a big
there were
Battlefield bro.
Yeah,
but
and Battlefield Vietnam and all that good stuff.
Because, man, I'm just gonna have to buy a full flight sim setup now. That's my only choice.
Just to play the
My
jet.
goddamn flight stick. And you were trolling Bob for it, but I'm doing it. You're not going to be able to fly it well with a keyboard and mouse. It's going to be LOLs if you try to.
Also, apparently, you can fly through Activision logos. Try to find it.
Yeah, I did see that screenshot. It looks pretty
Wait, what? I'm missing something here.
Somebody photoshopped in an Activision logo being just annihilated by the cockpit of the plane. The footage.
Yeah, it was pretty strong. So, yeah, we got some great games coming. I mean, this is just going to be a monster year, dude.
Nobody talks about Modern Warfare 3.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather get Skyrim. I was more excited for Counter-Strike Global Offensive than I was Modern Warfare 3, honestly. Like,
if I find out there's dedicated servers, then I will instantly be more excited for Modern Warfare 3.
Exactly. But and you got to make it, like, why can't they just be like, here, we'll make it the settings like COD 4, you can customize everything, but it's going to look really pretty like Modern Warfare 2. If that's all it was, I'm in.
I want to lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't lean in a Call of Duty game. I don't know what the point is. But, yeah, no one's talking about it. Skyrim I'd rather play right now.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather buy Skyrim, Rage.
Rage. Totally forgot about that, yeah.
Fucking Rage, man. I mean, I've heard that. I was reading, like, not Gamescom, what the hell was it, QuakeCon impressions, and I heard that the only thing they had on display at QuakeCon playable was the opening part, which is supposed to be really fucking long and drawn out and boring, so people were having mixed reviews. Was it?
I mean, it was a beautiful game, so that's more than enough to warrant the price to play it. I'll pay $60 for something that's pretty. I bought Crysis too.
Yeah.
I bought Crysis 2 on a GT220.
How's that working?
It barely runs Crysis 1.
So many Crysis on so little time.
Yeah.
Will it run Crysis? No, but I can cook your breakfast.
Fry eggs on the
What else is fucking Tribes? I don't know. When is Tribes coming out? I don't even know.
October, November, somewhere around there. That's probably the game I'm most excited for right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you said
coming
it was
out.
free to play, right?
It is free to play. Won't run on a GT220.
That looks it won't.
Nothing will run on a GT220. These are the things that happen when you go to Arizona.
Arizona consequences, hashtag.
You cannot run games that came out after 1996 on a GT220.
Wow.
That's a little bit harsh.
What's your frame rate like in Team Fortress 2?
I get 60, dips to 50.
That's solid. Yeah, I get 300 steady.
Well, fuck you, John.
Well, when is this actually happening? When are you actually going to be upgrading your rig here, Jesus? Is there a...
I already downloaded some RAM off the in-flight Wi-Fi to Arizona, so that's all covered.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, in October when I get that YouTube money, I'll be buying it hopefully and having the shit shipped to me before I can fucking start with Battlefield 3.
Nice. All right, well, make it the sooner the better here, for sure. Well, also, too, PlanetSide 2,
Yes.
we wanted to talk about a little bit because...
I can brief you guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Dan, brief us all.
Basically, PlanetSide 1 was a game that was a really cool concept that Sony neglected. I know, Sony neglecting something like their security. I mean, it's weird, you know? It's weird that Sony would neglect it. But
such a lockdown company.
But PlanetSide was an MMO FPS, and it was the first one really ever to exist. And I'm not sure exactly which year it came out, but I think it was the earlier 2000s, right when they were getting real good with EverQuest, and so they decided to do this kind of MMO. And basically, it sucked, and they neglected it, and it fell apart, just like Star Wars Galaxies fell apart once Sony took it over. That's so weird.
Pat, perhaps?
But I have hope for this one. I hope Sony doesn't mess this one up. But they've apparently, from all the impressions from people who played PlanetSide 1, is that basically they fixed everything that sucked real bad. Now, this game has no release date right now, like, still pretty deep in development, but you can choose one of 3 warring factions, not just 2 like most MMOs. And basically there will be fully destructible bases that you have to build. It'll have a battlefield spawn system, like you can spawn on your squad mates and that kind of thing. You'll take resource hubs and try to hold them. The talent system, which like WoW talents is called certifications. And you can actually level those up offline if you're not like too confident at the beginning, so that you don't have to just get pounded by people if that's happening. So it looks pretty cool if they can pull it off. It's about the only game that I see in the near future, because I think the Old Republic's going to suck. As far as MMOs.
Dude, how bad was the voice acting in those trailers that we posted?
But I just think that game's
Guild
going to...
Wars 2.
Guild Wars isn't really an MMO, though.
This one's going to be. This one's a dynamic world where, like, everybody's fucking in the same world. It's not like instanced, as far as I understand.
All right, well, I didn't know that. That might be up there. But I feel like this PlanetSide 2, if it works out, if it's done well, is the only thing that's going to compete with whatever that new Blizzard MMO is going to be. Because otherwise, they're just going to crush whatever comes out. I don't even know why other people come out with MMOs at this point.
Yeah, I'd be down to play an MMO FPS, because wasn't there one, like, a long-ass time ago called fucking, like, Huxley or something, and then it got sold to some Korean people?
And it never came out, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was down for an MMO FPS.
That and like Eve, is Eve first person? I don't even know. Eve's just you just like collect resources and
you're just like a spaceship. It's like an economy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, like if anyone's gonna knock Blizzard off, I feel this game could do it if they come through on everything they've promised. It's about the only thing I see.
You were so amped on it. You were reading it, and I was like, really? I was like, I don't know.
That details thing was like,
yeah.
If they actually do all that, I mean, they're going to start with one world, and eventually they want it to be. They said literally thousands, kind of like Eve. But the sniping in it is going to be like real sniping. You're going to have to deal with bullet drop and the wind. The weather is going to play a part, in how the game goes. So if it's raining and you're shooting guns, there's going to be a lot of smoke and steam out there. So visibility will be limited, that kind of thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It sounds pretty cool if they can pull it off. It would just be sweet being in an actual... Now, 64-man BF3 is going to be awesome. That's going to feel like a war, too, but... Imagine, 200 person.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
3 factions going at each other. I think it would be awesome if they could work. It's a huge if, though. But
I'm not buying it, though, unless you can deck your character out in weird-looking hats and coat each other in piss. I want to just coat somebody in piss in an MMO, I'm just saying.
It's just jaw rate everywhere.
That's what I'm looking for if CS GO has hats. I mean...
Yeah. That'll be.
If it doesn't have hats, I can't play it. At least not competitively.
Just reskin the Molotov to be like a jar of piss that just reeks so badly that it's area denial.
Area denial. Nice. All right. Well, I do want to move on to our rant this week because
Rant of the week!
I don't know what we're yelling about. We do have we have one of the best ranters in the business with us right now in Colin. So, Colin, I want you to go ahead and take it away. And, what's on your mind? What's irking you right now? I'm sure lots of things, but it can be.
Well, you see, a long time ago, I was a nice guy, and I would add a lot of people. Now I'm a crotchety old bastard at 18, but I'm still a crotchety old bastard. And so a long time ago, I would add anybody when I was a smaller channel on Skype or on Steam or whatever, when I could play pretty much CSS on low settings, but on my HP laptop like a bro.
Nice.
It was even worse back then, yes.
Dude, I used to rock an E-machine and play CSS.
Oh, God.
But anyway, if I don't go online for a while, I'll come back on, and there'll be these strange people whose names I don't remember who are sending me messages and trying to make small talk. I'm okay with getting messages if it's for, some directed purpose, but when you send me a message just saying, hey, after I haven't spoken to you in 2 months, it's like, buddy, get to the fucking point. And then there's the people on Steam who will add me, and I'll see I have one mutual friend with him, and the guy's a nice guy. And then next thing I do, the first thing I do when I come on the next day after I add this guy is to be like, holy shit, it's obviously Jesus, and then I'll probably block him. But there's other people who I don't block. Then these people, they'll say, hey, and I'll be like, hey, what's up? And they'll be like, nothing. And then I'll just kind of sit there and wonder to myself, why are they talking to me? If nothing much is up, why feel the need to initiate a conversation?
It's the fame, Jesus. It's the fame.
And then they'll be like, hey, it's really cool that you talk to your subscribers. And I'm like, hey, it's really cool when people actually have something to say. And then there's the people who are instantly in my TF2 server whenever I join, and then it's just absolutely ridiculous sometimes. And I'm sometimes in the mood for it because occasionally I get a pocket medic out of the deal. But other than that, yeah. It's kind of interesting to have to sort of adjust yourself to that, because you get people just saying, hey, you want to see my helicopter dick? I'll send you pics.
John has
Can you send me those subscribers, please?
Yeah.
Well, actually, funny story. I opened one of their messages one time, and it was actually Gabe Newell lifting up his fat rolls and just being like, doing the old heli.
Was it really? Are you joking?
No,
wow.
I'm fucking joking.
Was this a Photoshop or was this legit?
No, but there actually is. Just to deviate from the rant here for a moment. I happened upon this Tumblr website through one of my fans, and this is actually one of the people who, has something entertaining to tell me when in a conversation on Steam. But the long and short of it was Gabe Newell photoshopped onto naked women.
That is solid. I'd love to see that.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
Tell you what, the friend adding, I used to have a real open policy with it, and then I just made this rule where I would remove people at a certain rate.
Yeah.
And then what bugs me more, I don't get a lot of people who just message me randomly. I used to get people who would just come in games. We used to have a problem actually, because we would try to record Killing Floor back when we used to play that a bit, and people would hop in the game and I'd be like, you gotta go, dude. And then people get super offended, and I'd be like, I mean, thanks for being a fan and subbing and all that, but we're saving a spot, and they'd be like, no, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, is that it's hard from a fan or a subscriber, whatever you want to call them. It's hard from their perspective to see what we see, because it's just one person on their side saying, hey, can I add you? And if it was just one person, let's add each other. But the thing is that, when we have subscriber bases like we do, it's not just one person. It's 30 a day, and then it's 30 a different day. And then it becomes a point where you couldn't do it even if you wanted to add everyone. But plus, we can't all be friends in the world, like buddy personal friends. It's just impossible to be friends with 75,000 people for John, that kind of thing, or 40 for Scott.
What do you mean?
It's just not even physically possible for you to know everyone.
I have 9 friends IRL.
Yeah,
right.
a lot of us
It's John's whole Steam list, I believe.
Yeah.
A lot of us at PC Game, we have, a group of friends. online, and we got a group of friends in real life, we're not looking for 75,000 more.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is hard to do sometimes. It sounds like we're dick, but we're not doing it because we're famous. It's just like if you were in any position where a lot of people wanted to be your friend, it's great to respond to personal messages on YouTube or comments, but we can't spend every night together. It just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I reached critical mass the other night, though, and I went apeshit and proceeded to remove 100 people from my Steam friends list.
Wow, you had 100 people?
Wow.
I had my Steam list full at first, and then
I had my list full.
I removed everybody. Everyone.
Yeah, it's insane.
By the way, people who want me to add them, I have like 30 invites sitting. I just let them sit. I don't ignore. I did
that for a while, and then I just stopped caring.
And if I don't recognize your Steam name from like Twitter or somewhere, chances are you're never going to get added. Yeah. Just FYI.
Yeah. I don't add anybody unless I go to like mutual friends and I see one in the bro pile there or somebody else I know, because it's just impossible.
Like now, if you're an exceptional Twitter follower and I recognize you, I'll add you every time. Like there's a guy named Struggle or Trauma Zone on Twitter that always like tweets me back, and he's never gotten on my nerves, so I accepted his.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure this sounds dickish to people, but it's like you said, Alex, like you don't realize, like it's a totally different position. I get their side too, where they're like, oh man, like you said, one person. Well, it's not one person. And it's nothing to do, like everyone loves interacting. Like obviously YouTube isn't fun unless you have people interacting with you.
Yeah.
So obviously we all appreciate that, but it's like on a personal basis, it's impossible to interact with everyone.
And some people ruin it for others too. Like you'll decline someone, and then they'll show their true colors. Like, oh, you decline me?
They freak out.
Like they turn into like this like sassy blab. Like, oh, you too famous for me? Huh? What, you don't know the people now? And it's like, no, we just don't do that. So that turns me off adding anyone, because I'm like, well, they could get mad at me at any time. That scares me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that what happens, too, is that they forget that you want to game, that you don't want 250 Steam friends with whom you can make small talk. You actually want to go into a TF2 server and actually enjoy yourself.
That's where you told me the other day that you just enjoy getting on and saying hi and what's up to all of your...
Yeah, I mean, I'll play with them. I'll talk. I'll say random shit about whatever. And, but that's the extent of it. I don't want to, like, talk to 5 billion people in the Steam chat asking me if I want their want their strange black dildos.
Yeah.
Well, once again, like people, we're not being negative. It's just a matter of logistics, actually, a lot of the time. But also, I remember one time going into a ProMod server that John tweeted out one night, and I don't actually think it was Netsky. I think it was another one that time. But John tweeted out a server, and I didn't see it till late, but I got on later that night and hopped in ProMod with him, and it sucked, actually. Not because, like, John's subs suck or anything, but everyone in there wasn't playing the game. They were all just trying to talk. Like, nobody was actually playing
CG, chat height 0.
But it was like, it wasn't even the spam. It was just like nobody was, if you were on the team with 10 people who joined off the IP from Twitter, then your team lost because 10 people were just sitting in spawn chatting.
What happens on my TF2 things is that, I'll be sitting in there and I'll go soldier, and then suddenly there's 5 soldiers on the team, and then I'll go scout to balance it out, and suddenly there's 5 scouts on the team. And it's like, I think that people they're good intention, but they really don't know, like, they can't see both sides of it, and they can't really go about it in a way that's, like Dan said, logistically possible for us, or logistically, like, not ridiculously fanboyish.
Yeah.
Be a good Twitter follower or a good subscriber. That's how you do it.
That's true. Yep. That's true.
Yeah, like actually talk to me. I talk to people on Twitter all fucking time.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
I try to answer almost everything on Twitter and on YouTube, but I don't have the disadvantage, in quotes, of having a real big channel. So
not yet.
And
there's time.
Yeah.
And even you, Dan, what are you at? Almost 4K now?
Yeah.
It still becomes too much sometimes for you.
Yeah. Yeah, like, only recently have I started to get, like, trolls and haters and comments. It was mostly positive, up until about, like, 225K, or 2,500. Right around there is when people started to come out and be like, this fucking sucks.
Like 225K? What are you running, a ballerina sniper clan on console?
Oh God.
We have standards in this community.
Oh my God.
But to kind of close this out, people out there listening, we're not hating on you guys at all. It's just a matter of reality, really. And because I like to interact with people. I've said this a bunch, and I know you guys too. I like to interact with people on Twitter, on YouTube. But if just don't bug us.
Yeah, like sincere, the suck up, not suck up fish, but like the intense flattery is just not the way to our hearts, I think, because that's
Right.
it's a bit ridiculous.
Dicks. Way to my heart is dicks.
Yes. Pointy dicks, surgical dicks.
Well, speaking of Twitter, we definitely have a lot of good questions this week.
And now it's time for Twitter questions with the KBMOD podcast.
So, let's go to Twitter Q&A and let's do it. Dan.
Got to start off. We have so many Colin trolling questions. It's so good. Ginger Bomb wants to know. He's a bro, by the way.
Yeah. Ginger's a solid bro. Yeah, he's a great bro.
Can I have Colin's 220 when he dies?
Well, no. You can see what's going to happen is I'm going to donate it for the guys at Epic Mealtime so they can try to run Shattered Horizon on their PCs and then proceed to cook the bacon strips on it.
Wow, it sounds like you've definitely thought about this.
I'll give them my XFX 5770 while they're at it. Gets up to around 200 Fahrenheit. They can cook some shit on that.
Nice.
All right, I'm just going to go down the list here. This one's from Shibby2142.
This
helps us out, yeah.
Shibby wants to know if Colin and John enjoyed his chocolate sauce strip show. He wants to know.
Well, personally, I just I took a screen cap of him with that chocolate sauce dripping all across the corner of his mouth, all seductive-like, and I masturbate to it nightly.
So that's a yes for me, then.
Oh, yes.
It really helped you out, is what you're saying.
Well, I have a giant throbbing erection, so, yeah, I'm going to let him speak for me. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, I enjoyed it when he was tonguing it and telling me that it was my asshole.
All right. Nick Fenton wants to know if you guys... how many frames does Jesus get on Minesweeper?
I pull about 50, almost 60, almost. It edges up there sometimes when it's
You're
not
almost
too
hitting
intense.
V-Sync. You have to use V-Sync.
Yeah, I have to V-Sync the Minesweeper and fucking... when all those bombs blow up, though, it crashes down to like 15. It's retarded.
Everyone plays it in windowed mode.
Oh, God.
What did the Battlefield 3 Alpha and Minesweeper have in common for Jesus?
Windowed mode.
Same resolution?
Probably.
They both involve blowing up.
Genzo45 asks, and I'm just going to answer this one. Linux ? No. That's the answer. No, if you're gaming, no.
Yeah.
That's the answer. If you want the best operating system out, yes, get Linux. But if you want a game, no. So I'll just answer that one for Genzo45. All right, the rest of these are thoughtful.
We need biz.
This one is very... Biz's question is coming right now.
I want biz.
Because this one, man, all right. Jesus is a philosopher, so even he might have to think about this one for a bit, though. If you guys had to marry and then attempt to have sex with any piece of your gaming setup, what would it be? Who wants to go first?
I would like to have sex with my i7 2600K.
How would you... I'm trying to think
Logistically, how does that work?
I don't know. I'll just rub it all over the outside of my cock. Like thermal paste. If I was running it for a while, the thermal paste would be a little bit warm.
Ooh.
It could do the job, I think.
You could make a fleshlight and put it at the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, the inside of an i7 is a dead cavity anyway. It just wants to clip.
Oh, man. All right, I'll go next, because I put some thought into this. And I figure I would have sex probably with my blue snowball, because that would make one hell of an anal bead.
Huge, bro. I know you get around, Dan, but even you, I don't think so. I want to hear Alex. Alex, have you thought about this? I'm sure you put thought into this.
I'm a nasty girl, so I'm going to go with my wiring.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Bondage shit up in
That's
there.
dirty.
Me and Alex have common. We went to the same wiring school.
Yeah,
One where
the wiring school of non-modular power supplies.
Alex went to a school where he can install Hyper 212 when he works on computers for a living.
Yeah, you know. Because that's a normal task that I'm installing Hyper 1212s on my work computers.
I'd go with my disk drive, but there's not a lot of contact. You know what I'm saying? It's like a hot dog down the hallway. You know what I'm saying?
I was just thinking my LG Super Multi, disk drive, because you could open it up and, maybe if you worked
You're into
yourself.
that pain stuff, like BME.
Yeah.
Like, so you could close it.
You'd slam it, you try to slam it on or something. I don't know.
You David Cassidy shit, dude.
Well,
It's around the neck.
I'm thinking that I'm gonna have to go with the audio ports because it's that small. Oh yeah,
solid. That's good. That's a good question. That was Biz's
That'd
question.
be pretty telling if you wanted to go with the USB drives. It'd be an awkward shape.
Well, now people aren't going to watch this podcast because we have so many viewers out there who stop watching when we start swearing.
That's true.
It's true. They all just quit. They all just quit and go watch PKA.
Yep.
Oh my God! Can we stop? We can't. Not 1 week. All right.
Evo_. That's his name. Evo_.
Oh, I know this guy.
Yeah.
This is for Scott, and this one's not, necessarily. What does APL stand for?
Oh, okay. I've answered this before, but for people that don't know, I guess obviously that's why they're asking the question. It comes from Counter-Strike. When I first started in Counter-Strike, my name was a long, good Apollo. All
nice.
2 words.
Coheed?
Yeah, good, nice Coheed reference there. So then I shortened it to Apollo for a while, and then I just shortened it. I don't know why. I decided to put APL and abbreviate it. Don't ask me why. And then everyone says Apple now. So it really backfired, but originally it stood for Apollo.
Especially when that APL farmer guy came out.
Yeah.
It's funny because you went from as black as it gets with a name, and then you've gotten slowly more Caucasian with each iteration.
I went slowly into my true colors there. Just took a little while, probably about 3 years. Yeah, that's that.
Also, about Evo though, just so I don't seem like a self-absorbed douchebag too much. Not too much, it's good to have a little bit of selfish douchebaggery in your personality, so people know not to fuck with you because you're a rich white guy. But but seriously, Evo is a perfect example of a guy who you just talk to on Twitter, and he's not like he's awesome. So role model right there.
One love, Evo. One love. All right, this one's
Hottest for faggots. I'm not doing this podcast anymore. You guys are a bunch of ganja smoking fucking haters.
All right, this one's from Colts 18 Beast, which I think has to do with Peyton Manning, but I'm not sure. But
I won't do
Patriots.
No, this is off topic, but it's a good one, and Alex will probably have the most to say because he's fucking pretentious douchebag.
Whoa! You're encroaching on my pretentious douchebagginess here.
Everyone's top 3 movies.
Oh God.
Oh goodness.
Nobody answer because I'll just hate you all.
I'll be interested to hear Alex if he's ever said this. He probably has. I know Fight Club's number 1. It has to be.
I don't want to go first. Someone go first.
Fuck you, bud.
I'm not going first. You're going to judge me. I'm not going.
Top 3 movies? Well, when you're this well versed in films, it's quite difficult to pick just 3. I just go the 3 that I've watched the most, just view count, would be Fight Club, Matrix, and probably Boogie Nights. That'd be my top 3.
Ooh, man, you like that big old D
Boogie
on
Nights,
that, bro.
the 3-minute opening tracking shot. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
the
dude.
big D in film, basically. It's Paul Thomas Anderson just whipping out his big D like, here's my 3-minute tracking shot, bitch.
Oh goodness. I'll go next if no one else wants to.
Go ahead.
Fight Club's up there for me, but I'm not going to put it in here because I'm not that much of a pretentious faggot. So I guess Alex does beat me there. But I'm going to say Pulp Fiction. I'm going to say Miller's Crossing. And I'm going to say
solid.
Miller's Crossing's fucking awesome. I love Gabriel Byrne. And for third, I'm going to have to say Network.
Ooh, Network's good.
Fucking,
I'm mad
I don't
at
like
it,
that.
and I'm not gonna take it anymore.
Oh, yes. And honorable mention. Honorable mention to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Definitely.
Oh,
That's a good movie.
What a movie.
You just stole two of mine. Two of you guys stole my thunder already. I have The Matrix.
I was going to say, are they all Fight Club, John?
The Matrix, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I'm going to have to go old school and say The Lion King.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
Nice.
3D,
Good
2
reference.
weeks in theaters, girl.
Nice.
From the Disney Vault, where we also keep all the midgets.
Oh man. I guess I'll go. Man, top three. It's hard.
These lists are always hard.
Yeah, I don't know. Sixth Sense is one of my favorite movies of all time. I really like The Sixth Sense. Maybe you guys will troll me, but I did like that movie when it came out. Shyamalan was one of my favorite directors before he just fucked up everything he did in the last 5 movies or whatever it was.
I liked Lady in the Water. Everyone hates that movie.
Did you? I liked Paul Giamatti's performance in that. It was good. But
I liked Unbreakable, actually.
Unbreakable.
I loved Unbreakable. I remember watching that as a kid. That was freaky fucking
It's a mind
movie
fuck,
for a little
especially
kid.
at the end.
Yeah, dude.
But trying to think what else. Yeah, as far as animated films, well, these are all like recent. I'm pulling here, but Up was one of my favorite movies.
Up is
if I look
really
back.
good, actually.
Yeah, dude, Pixar's awesome. And I don't know. I'm trying to think for a third. I mean, I could throw The Matrix in there. Pulp Fiction's one of my favorite movies. Oh man, I don't know. I got a couple. You didn't go yet, Dan? Though, did you?
I don't know. Fight Club's going to be in there. It is.
He's like, it better be.
I've also met Chuck Palahniuk, and he is a beast.
You lucky fuck. You lucky
Yeah,
fuck.
But also The Sting, which is old school,
Oh, yeah.
but fuck,
I own that.
great movie.
Great movie.
And also I watch a lot of foreign movies because I have Netflix, so I just kind of browse around. The movie Exiled, which is directed by Johnny To, fucking beast of a movie. It's only on DVD. It's basically like a spaghetti western, but also a Hong Kong action film. So
Only on DVD.
wow.
That's honestly all they make there.
yeah,
They have
it's
one,
sweet.
The way that the Asian markets are set up, they have one studio basically, and all they fund are just revenge films, violent revenge. films.
Exiled is just. It's amazing. It might have the best soundtrack of any movie I've ever seen, too. It's really good.
If you want to go there, Old Boy might be in my top
Old
3,
Boy is
too.
pretty damn good. Yeah.
I've never seen it, but I've heard such great things about it.
It'll
man,
mess you up. When I first saw Old Boy, I didn't talk for an hour afterwards. They made
Yeah.
it that much.
The hammer scene. You can YouTube Old Boy hammer scene.
I don't like anything with a hammer. I've heard 3 Guys, 1 Hammer. Never watched that either. I'm surprised Private Faggot over here didn't mention Full Metal Jacket.
Oh,
That is a strong movie.
That's awkward.
Those Apocalypse Now as well.
He just doesn't want to admit that he can suck golf balls through garden hoses.
All right, this one.
worst movie of all time, Spider-Man 3. Sorry, had to get it out there.
Ooh, I'm going to go the worst movie I ever saw. We'll just keep this going for the hell of it. Worst movie I ever saw, Anaconda. Oh my
John
fucking
Boyd
god.
and Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez. That movie was sad.
That was an awful film, yeah.
That was bad.
Oh my god, it's the only movie I've ever walked out of the theater from.
I think it's all perspective too, because I've told Alex a story about and to Twitter, but like Spider-Man 3, I was so hyped for it. Don't ask me why, because when I go back and watch the Spider-Man films, now I'm underwhelmed. But Spider-Man 3 tainted the whole series for me. But I was so hyped for that movie, I went in there, and by the end of it, me and all my friends were in tears, laughing in a packed theater, while the people that were actually imbibing the movie were loving it, and we were just like, "Are you fucking kidding me? This is the worst." The emo scene. There's an emo dance scene with Spider-Man, with Peter Parker. I mean, what do we... Oh, God.
There's a video of that on the internet, and the title is "The Film That Killed a Franchise."
That's perfect.
It undid all the goodwill and all the hype around 1 and 2. Peter Parker with black hair, jazz dancing around New York, ruined everything.
It did.
Oh, my God. I'm having terrible memories of my childhood when I watched that. Oh, God.
All right, this is going to be the last one.
Yep.
What is the worst problem you guys ever had with a PC? And that's from OK Jesus, which is close to Jesus.
Yeah, I actually hated that guy for a long period of time because he's an admin. He's an admin on Huppet who banned me for a very trivial reason.
I don't know who he is, but that's the question. Now, John, if John started this, it would be every PC he's ever had up until this one. That would be the worst PC problem he's ever had.
I had a long learning process. The worst problem I ever had actually is I went dual core in SLI when SLI first became possible. I think I was running like 6600 GTs or something. And trying to make those things work didn't really go too well with me because I went through 5 6600 GTs.
Oh my god!
And my bank account wasn't real happy with me for that.
At one point, John bought a Barton 3000 Plus system off me because he was so desperate to play something because his PC had died for like the umpteenth time. He bought it off me for like $80. It had like a 32 gig hard drive and a Barton 3000 and a 9600 Pro. It was a beast.
Wow. That thing's still running though, isn't it? You guys told me about that thing.
No, it died. It finally died. I believe John said it finally kicked the bucket. I think the motherboard just shorted completely.
No, it still turns on.
Wow. That amazes me.
It's going to become sentient one day and kill you. I have a bad CMOS battery. Considering this is my first build, that's my biggest problem. That's it.
That's actually odd that would happen.
Yeah, every time I have BIOS problems, like it'll kick me out, and I'll get blue screen for a second, I take out the battery, and I'll put it back in, and it boots fine for a couple times, and then, I don't know.
That's odd. For those of you who don't know what your CMOS battery is, real quick, there's a little kind of like, not even a hearing aid, it's a little bigger than that, kind of like a dime size maybe, disc on your motherboard. If that dies, it dies. So check that.
Yep. My worst thing was actually with a build. I went through, I don't know if I had the worst luck in the world or I was doing something wrong, but I definitely wasn't doing a C-nanners and building down my carpet, so I don't think I was doing anything wrong. But
worst problem you've ever encountered was being unable to install a Hyper.
Oh, God. Yeah, the Hyper 1212. That was actually one of the most frustrating things. God, but come on, be fair, guys. Is the Hyper 1212 overly complex? Come on. No? I don't know.
I just heard it was big. That's all.
It's huge.
It's huge. But
all right, you know what? Don't back me up at all. Whatever. But no, my worst was I went through. This was like 2 builds ago, I think. Yeah, 2 computers ago it would be now. But I went through 3 motherboards. The first one I think I might have actually shorted by accident. I don't know if it was static electricity or something. I'm going to try to be careful, but I think I might have done it. The next one they sent me was dead on arrival, and I couldn't. Like, I hooked everything. I tried everything for like forever, and then I just, I couldn't get a picture, so something was wrong. I thought it was my video card, put my video card in a different motherboard, that worked. I got another one sent to me, and the same thing happened. So I was like, I was just convinced I was doing something wrong, like it had to be. So I had my friend come over, and I was like, listen, I want you to build this with me and watch everything I'm doing. So this was like the 3rd motherboard, and the 3rd motherboard, everything worked fine. So I just had the worst luck, and I must have I think I got 2 bum motherboards in a row from the same company. So forget what it was, if it was an MSI board or something, but it was bad.
I had to start my PC, and what actually frustrated me into buying my current system, I had to start my old PC like a lawnmower. Not with the pull string, but I would have to, something was shorted somewhere. Like some connection just wasn't good. It wasn't even shorted, just...
Oh, so you're hammering the power button?
So I had to hammer the power button, and you could hear all the fans spin up, and it was like...
That's so horrible.
It would take like sometimes like a minute of just hitting the power button over and over again for it to... Because like what would happen is it would turn on and then like power right down. Yeah. So I'd have to hit it again real quick, and it would get the second jolt of power and then start up. But then it worked fine, like when it was on. No problems at all. Just starting up, it didn't work. So never got it fixed. Never was able to figure out what was wrong with it. But that PC had a lot of little foibles. It wouldn't start without the Windows disk in either, like the CD. No idea why. Wouldn't load into Windows.
Weird. Jesus.
Just weird ass shit. But then when it was in, worked fine.
Nice. Could you remove the Windows disk after starting up?
Yeah, you could. It was just, it wouldn't find a boot without it. I have no idea why.
You, Colin, besides having probably the worst video card ever made?
Yeah, GT220.
Yeah, I was going to say that GT220 probably is the worst thing I've ever done in the realm of PC having. Yeah, but in all honesty, I had a laptop, that HP laptop I mentioned earlier that I used to play CSS on. I was in my bed one night. I was, of course, masturbating pictures of Jessica Chobot on the internet, and I fell asleep shortly after, as usually happens when you do that. And then I woke up to find, a couple seconds later, of course, that thing had fallen off my lap and had sustained cracks in the hinges. So ultimately, I was playing CSS in a tiny little corner of my room with a laptop, with the screen of which was held up by giant red clamps. My laptop had wings.
Wow.
I'm surprised it didn't short all the time. Damn.
And then same laptop, it was already on hinges, and the hinges were on clamps and shit. I went out for a walk one day to get a coffee, because there's a fucking coffee place right down the street. And I came back to seeing, like, the entire screen was white spots, and it just never worked again.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
There you go.
We
aren't perfect with PCs, especially Scott, who can't unzip files or install it.
Yeah, according to Dan, most condescending comment I've ever gotten from anyone. Oh, God. You know how to unzip that, Scott? You sure you're okay? All right. Well, we are definitely probably, what are we at, hour 10 minutes by now, probably?
Yeah.
So we probably got to cut this off. But, Colin, thanks for coming on.
You are welcome. Might I just say one thing real quick before we go?
Sure.
Yeah, I feel really weird. I have bad OCD about stuff coming out wrong, and I feel bad about the stuff. It's just want to make one final statement about that. It's not the people who want to add you who are the problem. It's the people who sort of want you to forget that it's the people who forget that you're playing a game too. That's, I don't know. I have OCD.
There you go. Okay. No, that's a good clarification.
Good rap.
That is.
Because I don't want to sound like a douchebag.
Right. Well,
I just want to play some games and have some fun.
There's only so much, you can
Shoot
do.
the cocaine.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll be back next Wednesday, as always, with episode 6. So
same time, bros.
Same time, same place. Same stuff. All right.
On iTunes.
Yes.
Please, God.
Please do. All right. See you guys.
Rub it all over yourself.
Bye.
Hello, gents, and thanks once again for tuning into the podcast this week. If you need to find the podcast, you can find it on podbean.com, our front page, or search iTunes for KBMOD. If you need your PC gaming fix during the week, you can go to kbmod.com or follow us on Twitter at KBMODGaming. We'll see you next week, guys.